Make it to F1 2024, Liam Lawson. Following the Japanese Grand Prix, it was announced that Lawson's open campaign for a full-time race seat in 2024 had been unsuccessful. Red Bull had decided to stick with Daniel Ricciardo and Yuki Tsunoda for one additional year, relegating Lawson to the reserve position for both teams. Liam Lawson has acknowledged that he fell in love with working as an F1 racer after his first 2 weekends at the AlphaTauri Grand Prix. He also said that he was intent on making the most of the chance to land a full-time seat for the 2024 season. After Daniel Ricciardo hurt his hand in a practice crash in the Netherlands, Lawson was brought in to take his position. He finished in the lead at Monza, nearly reaching the points with a P11 finish. Ricciardo's recovery is still ongoing and his comeback date is not yet known. As a result, Lawson will drive the AT04 for the third time in the Singapore Grand Prix, where he was questioned about how long he could fill in. When asked if the encounters thus far had increased his desire to travel to 2024, he responded, "I think now that, after tasting it, I can say with certainty that I've fallen in love, and I don't think I can settle for anything less." Lawson was then pressed about what he needed to do to convert his temporary post into a permanent one because AlphaTauri is the only team on the grid that hasn't yet announced either of their drivers for 2024. They also happen to be fielding Yuki Tsunoda. The AlphaTauri seats are 2 of just 3 that have not yet been confirmed for the upcoming season, with Williams' decision to continue with Logan Sargent still pending following Zhou Guanyu's renewal with Alfa Romeo. During the driver press conference held at the Marina Bay Street Circuit on Thursday, the rookie American driver also talked about his prospects and the necessary steps to stay in Formula One. Liam Lawson, a Red Bull reserve driver, may be in for a treat, as team principal Christian Horner suggested that the New Zealander could eventually get an F1 seat. As a stand-in for Daniel Ricciardo, the 21-year-old is presently competing for AlphaTauri. Lawson's remarkable on-track achievements have garnered a lot of notice lately. In his 4 Grand Prix thus far, he's placed 13th, 11th, 9th, and 11th. However, since the drivers of Red Bull and AlphaTauri have already signed contracts for the upcoming season, he will not be able to ride for either team in 2019. Williams and Alexander Albon still have a spot available, but Lawson doesn't appear interested in it after he recently announced that he is a Red Bull driver, committing to his reserve driver role with the Milton Keynes team through 2024. As a super sub for Daniel Ricciardo at AlphaTauri, Liam Lawson has made quite the impression. In just 4 Grand Prix, the New Zealander has finished just outside 11th place twice and scored once. What could be his plans, and why did the Italian team pass him over for a race seat in 2024? It's not simple to join a team halfway through a Formula One season, particularly as a rookie. Lawson's F1 experience was limited to a few tests and 3 outings during the early practice sessions of the previous year, but he has performed exceptionally well. After being thrown into the deep end at AlphaTauri, Liam Lawson has declared he will not be able to settle for anything less than a full-time F1 ride. Lawson made his debut after just 1 practice session due to Daniel Ricciardo's injury, and although he has not scored a point in his first 2 races, he's already shown that he's a driver of the highest caliber for Formula One. Despite neither of the AlphaTauri seats being confirmed for the upcoming year, Lawson has thrown up the towel by stating that he would be reluctant to settle for a position that isn't full-time. There are now just 3 spots left to determine, 2 of which are at AlphaTauri, following the announcement that Zhou Guanyu will be joining Valtteri Bottas in the Sauber car for the upcoming season during the Singapore Grand Prix weekend. The 3 competitors are rookie Lawson, who is only 2 races into his Formula One career, veteran Ricciardo, and Yuki Tsunoda, who has been with the team since 2021. Lawson, who is the youngest driver in the Formula One paddock at age 21, is hesitant to go back to another series after getting a taste. During his brief time in Formula One, the 21-year-old has shown promise. On Monday, he achieved the highest result for AlphaTauri by finishing 9th at the Singapore GP. Lawson, who is replacing Ricciardo, has completed all 3 of his races in the AlphaTauri vehicle, something that his teammate Yuki Tsunoda hasn't been able to accomplish. With 3 points, Tsunoda sits in 17th place in the Drivers' Championship after a difficult season. Lawson's future in Formula One is presently uncertain following Ricciardo's return, despite the encouraging results. After expressing his disappointment and not being able to secure an F1 2024 race spot with AlphaTauri, Liam Lawson clarified his 2023 ambitions. After entering the Formula One race at the last minute to replace the injured Daniel Ricciardo at the Dutch Grand Prix, Lawson has gained notoriety for nearly instantly matching teammate Yuki Tsunoda's pace. With his 2 Grand Prix wins, Lawson showed his speed and dependability behind the wheel. His exploits, which include a points finish in Singapore, even made him a late contender for a full-time race seat in 2024. Following the Japanese Grand Prix, it has been announced that Lawson's open campaign for a full-time race seat in 2024 had been unsuccessful. Red Bull had decided to stick with Daniel Ricciardo and Yuki Tsunoda for 1 additional year, relegating Lawson to the reserve position for both teams. As Ricciardo continues his recovery from a broken metacarpal, the Kiwi driver will drive in this weekend's Qatar Grand Prix. Lawson stated that he plans to concentrate on his remaining responsibilities as Red Bull's reserve driver and win the Super Formula title in Japan. He will race at Suzuka in the Japanese Series finale later this month. Despite his impressive F1 debut, Lawson will be facing his first sprint format event this weekend, which will be a formidable task. Lawson's lack of experience may prove to be a greater obstacle than it has been in his previous race weekends, and he will only have one 60-minute practice session to perfect the setup. Despite this, he's excited to get onto the track, become familiar with the Los Angeles circuit as soon as possible, and attempt to cap off what will probably be his final Formula One race in 2023 with a win. In 2022, Liam Lawson finished second in Formula 2. He will work as a test and reserve driver for AlphaTauri and Red Bull Racing in 2023. In the meantime, he can be seen on the Formula One grid, replacing Daniel Ricciardo at AlphaTauri and competing for Team Mugen in the Japanese Super Formula. At the age of 7, Lawson started his motorsport career by karting. Throughout his career, he competed in a number of New Zealand championships and won 2 national titles in 2014. He made the transition to motorsport in 2015, competing for the Sabre Motorsport team in the New Zealand Formula One Manfield Winter Series. He finished second in the championship with 1 win and 9 other podium finishes. Lawson competed for Sabre in this class's major championship as well. He was 6th in the standings as the best rookie, having won a race and been on the podium twice. After moving to the New Zealand F1 600 Championship Series in 2016, he won 14 races and finished second in 15, making him the championship's youngest ever champion. Lawson participated with Team BRM in the 2017 Australian Formula 4 Championship. He finished second in the final standings with 300 points, having won 5 races and finishing on the podium in 7 more. He competed in the Mazda Road to Indy shootout at the conclusion of the year and finished first, but Keith Donegan won the scholarship in the end. Lawson relocated to Europe in 2018 in order to compete for the Van Amersfoort Racing Squad in the ADAC Formula 4 Championship. He finished second in the standings with 234 points, having won 3 races and placed 6th in 6 more. He debuted in the Asian Formula 3 Championship with the Pinnacle Motorsport team in the same year. During the 2023 Dutch Grand Prix, Liam Lawson made his grid debut. Daniel Ricciardo was allowed to be replaced at AlphaTauri after qualifying by Red Bull's youthful reserve driver. That's all for today. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to receive notifications. Also, express your valuable thoughts in the comment section below. Until then, bye. Also, spend some time watching other videos on the channel.